Hello, Prolix here with a game submission for Midwinter Speedsprinter. You'll never guess, it's Full Throttle Remastered. Who knew? It's the only game I run, it's the only game I know how to run, so that's what you're getting. Enjoy. I'll kick this off now, and I'll walk you through a run here. So yeah, I hope everyone's doing well. I figured I'd go ahead and throw this in, even though we just saw it at mid-fall, and there's probably zero interest in it. But that's okay. I like running it, so I'm gonna do a run. I'm gonna record it. I'm gonna send it in, and you do with it what you like. So we play Ben Throttle here, leader of a biker gang called the Polecats. He gets into some trouble here at a roadside bar. Bartender ends up with his keys. He's got to take him back. His bike's sabotaged, which is why we end up here with his bike a wreck, and that mechanic Mo, short for Maureen, is helping him fix it. But I got to run around and solve some puzzles to get some parts back to help her fix the bike. So while I do that, yeah, let's talk about it a little more. This is the remaster of a game originally by LucasArts called Full Throttle. Big surprise. It was released on DOS platforms in like '95 or so. You know, it's an old game, one of the classic LucasArts point-and-click adventure games. Anyone who's into adventure games knows LucasArts, like you know Sierra, right? Like King's Quest, Space Quest. Give me a break, they're legends, you know. And the LucasArts games are also of that caliber and that sort of legendary status, and that's what I wanted to run, so here we are. The remaster was done by Double Fine, which, you know, that's a Tim Schafer company, and Tim used to work for LucasArts back in the day, and that's part of the reason he's so well known for adventure games as well. So just getting some parts here. The first thing I grabbed was a blowtorch out of the basement of Big Todd's place. Big Todd had borrowed it from Maureen and never given it back, the big meanie, so I just muscled my way in and made that happen. Now I siphoned some gas from a police hovercraft, I should say. Full Throttle takes place in a near-future, post-apocalyptic kind of environment. It's not quite Mad Max. It's close. It's not that gritty, right? It's a little more family-friendly than that. So there's hover cars and weird technology that you wouldn't know. You've seen how beefy Ben's bike looks, right? That thing is not normal. That would not be street legal today. So we got gas, we got the blowtorch, and now I am trapping this dog. This is Little Todd, by the way, because it's Big Todd's junkyard. So he's got a Little Todd on guard duty. I'm just gonna trap him in there by luring him into a car with some meat, then lifting the car with an electromagnet crane. You know how you do adventure games. What can I say? So we got all the parts we need. Bike's repaired. Now I just got to get out of town. So we're gonna distract some cops, and then we'll be able to talk to this reporter who you never meet because I've been skipping cutscenes. And she'd helped me when I crashed my bike. She helped me get to Melonweed, and now she's gonna give me a fake ID to get past some police roadblocks. And we'll be moving on to the next big puzzle portion of the game. Alright, so there's the reporter. See ya. And here's the fake ID. Give it to this trucker, and we're out of here. So, yeah, let's talk about speed tech and whatnot. Main speed tech is two built-in buttons, skip dialogue and skip cutscene. I mean, I know everything that's going to happen. I know every line of dialogue, so it's easy for me to skip all that stuff. I do not mind at all, and by skipping it we go faster, so I do. Here's a section of about 30 seconds of Ben just walking around. It takes him like 15 to get up to the trailer, and then he's got to tip it over, about 15 seconds to get back. So while he does this would be a perfect time for donations, fielding questions from the audience. If anyone's like, how do you go so fast, OMG, or I don't know, whatever it might be, or if I've just got to catch up on explaining things to people, because I know the skipping every cutscene in a narrative-driven game doesn't exactly help people understand it at all. So that's too bad, you know. All right, so I just I'm gonna go cause a car accident here, but it's okay because they're bad guys, and that's gonna let me steal the hover fan out of their car. So as I said, this is the second major puzzle section, and what I'm looking for right now is stuff to help me modify my motorcycle to be able to jump the Poyahoga Gorge. And now, according to history, only one person has ever successfully jumped the gorge on a motorcycle, and that was the legendary stuntman Ricky Myron. And he had modified his bike with a hover fan, like I'm about to. And then he had a ramp, of course, and he had a pre-regulation destroyer class solid fuel recoil booster. I do not say that 3 times fast. Yeah, so I'm going to obtain those same parts and try to replicate his jump, because I have to jump the gorge. The bridge is out, and I got to catch up with my gang, catch up with Maureen. She's also already ahead of me, and we're all framed for murder at this point. So you encounter Father Torque there. And then I'm just going to be cherry picking spawns here. So every time I see a biker, if it's not something I like, I skip it. Skip cutscene skips me down this road if you see it kind of jerking ahead there. So that guy is mandatory, and I do need to fight him at some point, but I do not have the weapon I need to defeat him yet. And you have to encounter him once anyway, regardless. The first time you meet him, you cannot beat him no matter what. So there he is again, but I still don't have the weapon I need, so that's unfortunate. So we'll just be running around, encountering guys. I'm going to get the pre-regulation destroyer class solid fuel recoil booster from that dude. Once I have the weapon from this guy, his chain there is really nice for kind of lassoing dudes off their bikes. And then the other thing I need is some goggles from bikers called the cave fish. They kind of look like Tusken Raiders or Sand People from Star Wars, because again, the LucasArts influence. And their goggles will let me see their secret cave entrance, and their cave is where they're keeping the ramp. So once I can get in the cave, it'll let me steal the ramp, and I'll have everything I need. There's Father Torque again. Hey, Father Torque. I mean, we don't need him, but there he is, you know. We'll stop off at this lady, defeat her, and get the chainsaw, so that'll be good. That'll let me defeat Rottweilers, which gets me a 2x4, which lets me defeat the cave fish. So it's all a very rock, paper, scissors sort of system. Like here, I just defeat her by throwing some fertilizer in her eyes, and the only reason that works is because she's not wearing goggles. If you look at a lot of the other bikers I encounter here, they have eyewear on of some sort, some kind of protective eye gear, goggles, a hood, something. And so the fertilizer actually doesn't work on them. So it's a nice touch of realism there, that you can just... the trump card for the most powerful weapon in the game, the chainsaw, is this fertilizer, and then it doesn't work on anyone else, but... Alright, so we have our recoil booster now, and I just need to find Clambake. That's not him. Clambake is our affectionate name for a biker with the 2x4, and you'll see why. People who've watched this run know, but if you don't know, stay tuned for Clambake. Anyway, I'm just looking for him, and then a cave fish. Oh, here he is. Clambake! Bye-bye, Clambake. As I said in, I think it was my AGDQ submission video, I'm like, yeah, you know, I mean, when you hit the guy with a chainsaw and he falls off his bike, he yells Clambake. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, you know, it's just, maybe that's what you do. I've never been hit by a chainsaw and knocked off my motorcycle. If I had that happen to me, maybe I'd say Clambake. So the last thing I need is a cave fish, which there's one. I'd seen precious few of them so far, so this is nice. And then we'll just have to run around this road till we get to their lair, and we'll be done. Oh, as long as I don't mess up this fight. They are difficult to fight. No, I got him. Okay. If you get too close, he like sprays an oil slick, and it instantly crashes your bike. So you are not allowed to bump into the cave fish. But you need to be close enough to hit him with the 2x4. It's pretty strict timing. So put the goggles on here, and we take the cave exit once that shows up in the bottom left there. All right, so we're gonna go get the ramp, jump the gorge, and then it'll be the final puzzle part of the game, in which I'm going to kind of recruit Maureen's help, get some evidence against the bad guys who did actually kill Malcolm Corley, and, you know, thus clearing my name and my biker gang's name. Let's see, we'll have another good stretch of silence here as I walk back to my bike, because again, Ben walking is slow, and there's nothing you can do to skip this part. You have to walk back to his bike sometime here, so. at least once. If you have a bad route, you can actually end up having to make this walk more than once, which is horrible. So this is the best I can do, though. Anyway, yeah, due to bad RNG on the old mine road, you know, we're behind on time compared to my best, but that's not surprising. My best run had very good RNG, and all you can really do is run well every time, hope that the biker order favors you on the old mine road, and if it doesn't, you know, your run's just dead. But this is a good time for a marathon. You know, my estimate will be high enough to account for lots of bad RNG, you know. So, come down here, and we're going to blow up this bunny so that we can get a battery out of it, so we can use an RC car to distract that souvenir vendor there so we can grab more bunnies and blow more of them up. Oh yeah, I'm sorry, why do the bunnies blow up? It's because this entire screen is a minefield. You can't see it, but they're there. So there goes bye-bye bunny. We take the battery out of it. What we're trying to get to is in the upper left there. Was the entrance to a biker gang hideout where Mo has been hiding, so we need to get to it. So we're just clearing a path with bunnies. As soon as I get that out of the way, grab these bunnies. You can see animations aren't real. I walked behind the counter, grabbed a box of bunnies, walked out, and you didn't see a thing. Alright, and back to the minefield again. Alright, this time we lay out a big old box of bunnies. It's March of the Bunnies. What I try to do here is pick up one relatively fast, walk out to the edge and lay it down. That gives it a bit of a head start. And then I start picking up bunnies trailing behind. And I hope that one in the lead just doesn't blow up before I get back up to it. So that should be enough. So anyway, yeah, we just follow in its footsteps. Gotta get right up there to the end, grab a new bunny, lay it down, and this is my life now. This is running this game. You just have to wait for this bunny to be a real trooper. Anyway, once we get to the top left there, we're gonna encounter Mo again. We're gonna say hi. We're gonna have to do some convincing to get her help. She's not happy to see us, but we're gonna end up in a demolition derby because that makes sense. In the demolition derby, we're gonna fake our own deaths to take the heat off of things. All right, we should be there now. Yep. All right. So next thing you know, demolition derby. Yeah, pay no attention to what's on your screen now. None of that matters. Don't worry about what was happening there. This cutscene often takes a little time to skip there, a little hang up. Game engine is not the best. Green's gonna try to screw me. Yeah, but we're cool. So we jump off the ramp, jump over Orange to stall him out.
Looks like these babies have a glass.
Please skip the cutscene. All right, thank you. I swear I was hitting the skip cutscene button just as hard as I possibly could, but things are slowing up a little bit. So I just got to knock the orange car. Oh, I did not want to knock it down, but knock it over to the side here. I had to get low enough to avoid that oil slick, or you get slowed up even more. So anyway, we bring Orange over here. We're gonna boost him up this ramp and then use it to jump onto the bad guy's car, which stalls it out, and that lets me and Mo do our thing. So I don't know if I can appropriately describe with words, at least not the English language, how awkward these controls are and how poor that part of the engine responds. It's just horrible every time. The derby is an awful portion of the game. You know, it's unlike anything else, right? So they kind of had to. They scripted in a car game in the middle of an otherwise point-and-click adventure. You know, it's not going to be good. Yeah, I'll see what I can do. I always like to say that line of dialogue. I don't know why. So we get out of the derby, and next thing to do is go to the shareholders meeting and present evidence against the real killer. Alright. And here we go. Combination 154492. Almost perfect APM. It's very tough to do all those clicks with the engine being the way it is, you know. Alright, so we just kill their projector. I've got my evidence from the safe now. Mo's gonna help me out. Mo's biker gang is ready to hit the road and help me out. Alright. So this is the final sequence here. I finished the puzzles and we're on to defeating Adrian Ripburger in kind of a road fight here. So we just steal his cane from him, maybe. There we go. Throw it in this engine fan, and that lets us get behind the truck. Grab the fuel line. That fuel line, please. Thank you. All right. And then a cargo plane comes out of nowhere. Don't worry about it. But it's ran by Moe's gang, and they swallow up the truck. The problem is we're careening toward the Poyahoga Gorge where the bridge is out. So it's top, bottom, middle on the menus here. I have to remind myself every time. And then now, while we're hanging off the truck, this is bottom, top, bottom, by the way. We drop Adrian Ripburger, the bad guy, off into the gorge, head back into the plane where the truck and the plane, everything's about to go up in flames. But luckily our bike's here because he crashed into us. So we just hop on it, head out of here. That is Full Throttle Remastered. Yeah, you know, I'm pretty happy with that. I did not lose any time in the latter half of the run. The only time loss was from Old Mine Road RNG. What can you do? If it hadn't been for that, we'd be looking at 1420. So yeah, nice time there. See, my best right now is 1417. So yeah, you consider good RNG is about all it takes. Other than that, it's a very consistent run. So I estimate, you know, I'll probably put my estimate about 18 minutes. I can see the Old Mine Road screwing me over for another minute or two, but not much more than that. It's kind of out of the realm of possibility, and I'm much faster at the rest of the game than I have been in the past before, so that helps. So, okay. I guess I'll cut it here because who needs to hear me talk more? But anyway, here it is. If you want to use it, if you don't worry about it. I do not mind being skipped over or being a backup or something. So, thanks. See ya.